3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello, what is up, and welcome to the Sports Shift with me, Ian Marquez. Formula One is back, and as usual, we start off with the Australian Grand Prix. Very excited, so happy that Formula One is back. I missed it. Everybody clear your Sundays, and it's time to go racing. So here is our driver lineup for 2025. 6 rookies in the field, a lot of changes. The only teams that have been remained unchanged are McLaren and Aston Martin. Everyone else has done some switching out of some sort, and it's getting a bit exciting. A lot of new faces. I can't wait to get started. Off of this, I think the strongest team is probably either Ferrari and McLaren. Two pretty experienced drivers. Two teams of experienced drivers, both pretty much at the top of their game. And I think these are going to be the two most dangerous teams when it comes to the constructor title. We also have the ever experienced Fernando Alonso, along with Lance Stroll, I guess who has to be there. Then we have Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon for Williams. They're going to stir some trouble. Their car isn't the best, but they're going to definitely outperform their car and turn a lot of heads from that struggling vehicle. Okay, Sauber I think is probably going to be the worst of the pack. They're going to struggle. Bortoleto, he's decent, defending F2 champion, but the car just isn't going to do them much help. Ollie Behrman, I think he's lucky to have that seat. I think he's going to struggle as well. Isaac Hadjar is probably the best of the new F2 recruits, along with Liam Lawson, who's a bit experienced in a sense. And I think the likes of Williams and RB, they're going to be fast, man. They're going to cause a lot of damage, looking at top 10 finishes and displacing a lot of the big boys like Alpine and Aston Martin and even some Mercedes. So it's time for the Australian Grand Prix, the first of 22 races. I can't wait to get started. Are we going to see a repeat of last year where Ferrari took the F1 season by storm, started off with a bang? Or is McLaren going to keep up their pace? They started really fast, their car looks amazing. Can Verstappen handle a problematic Red Bull car? A lot of talking points to talk about. Let's get to our race predictions. So I think it's pretty clear off of testing and off of last season's experience. McLaren probably still have the best car, the fastest car. Off of the early practices, it looked like they had a lot of downforce. It was handling the corners really well, a lot of grip going into the corners, and unless Lando or Oscar Piastri screw it up, I think they will take a lot of poles this season, and it would just be up to them to hold it down in the races. So going off of this, I think they take pole, whether it's Piastri or Lando. I've gone with Lando this time, but it could be the other way. And I think typically both McLarens will always be in a top 5 starting position for each race this season. It's definitely in their hands. They should be in control of most races, and the likes of George Russell, Max Verstappen won't have their teammate to help them in most of the races. Ferrari, not too sure what the Ferrari car is saying. I think they have the two best drivers in terms of a team, but I don't know if the car will be able to keep up with the others. So as you'll see here, pole does not mean you're in the race. I'm going for one of the two Ferrari big boys, Charles Leclerc, to win the first Grand Prix of the season, Max Verstappen coming in second, and Piastri to finish third. There are a lot of contenders that can challenge for these podiums, the likes of George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, but I just think this is how it's going to go. I think while they have the two teammates with the 1-2 punch, I don't think there's a real alpha in the sense of how Hamilton was the guy at Mercedes, Verstappen is always the guy at Red Bull. I don't think they have that sort of dynamic, so I think that can kind of harm them unless they're pretty clear in their strategy. I think the two teammates can kind of harm each other's chances of winning races. The real question this season is, will Ferrari continue to harm themselves? Will their strategies continue to backfire, causing chaos between both teammates, or can they start to sort it out? Can Lewis Hamilton bring his experience to the table, and will Ferrari stop beating themselves? So just to be able to say I told you so, I'm going to make my early season predictions, predicting the whole season, what's going to happen at the end of the season. Stay tuned. Well, they have the fastest car, and although Lando may not be the best driver in Formula 1, he is good enough to make that car work, as we saw finishing off last season, him chasing down Verstappen. I just think that Red Bull car has too many issues, and Verstappen's quality and ability won't be able to account for all the issues going on behind the scenes at Red Bull. Similar with Ferrari, they just seem to beat themselves. I'm not sure if the car is up to the pace where Hamilton or Leclerc can challenge. If I had to choose, I would love for Hamilton to win one more. Probably deserves it, but I'm just not sure it can happen if he comes to grips later on. If he comes to grips later on in the season with the car, gets it to suit his need as possible. But right now, I'm going with Lando, baby. It's time for Lando. He's going to win his first world championship. He's going to end Max's streak. And that's my pick. Let me know what you guys think. Am I crazy? Is Verstappen obviously going to win again? What do you think? This one will definitely be a bit of a shock though. As I told you, I think these are the best two drivers for any team in Formula 1 this season. And I think the likes of Lando and Oscar will harm each other's chances. And evidently, it will harm McLaren's chances of winning the Constructor Championship. So I'm going for Ferrari. Madness, I know. I just think it's between these two because both drivers will typically have a top 6 finish in every race, whereas Mercedes and Red Bull have two rookies. Not too sure how they'll be able to do. I think they'll struggle initially. So I'm going with Ferrari to bring home the Constructor title. It's a big leap, I know. I'll probably regret it. I'll probably say that I was crazy going on, but I just have a good feeling, you know? Let me know what you guys think. Is it going to be McLaren once more? I guess we'll find out. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think about the structure. I'm probably going to make a little bit of changes. It's definitely a bit experimental. But all in all, make sure to like and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. Otherwise, enjoy this weekend's race and see you guys later.